שלמה, שיעור! He's unbelievable. He doesn't prepare for the shiur and he gets it. שיעור, שלמה.
אני כמובן שהמילים.
מה מילים? שיעור, מה מילים?
אם אתה שמה.
אני לא אשם. was Mordechai Ezrachi, you know? Mordechai Ezrachi. You heard about him? Rabbi, שמעת על רבי מרדכי אזרחי?
הדוד של למד ישראל.
כן, רבי מרדכי אזרחי, he holds from people, you know, he's very... רבי מרדכי. So a lot of, you know, he was sick twice. So he said, let me show you, 2-0 למצוקים. You know what's that, Rabbi Fine? 2-0 למצוקים. הגמרא אומרת, when Rabbi died, ניצחו אראלים את המצוקים. The upper one won, the lower one. So when he died, he was sick twice. And we think it by Adam Gadol. So he said, 2-0 למצוקים, because the מצוקים, the lower one, won twice. So he was holding a lot. He's very... Somebody asked him, Rabbi, I heard when you were Bochur, you had a tacharut, a contest who drive reverse from Geula to Beit Vagan. You did it as Bochur. He said, זה לא קרה מעולם, אבל אני ניצחתי. So they said that his wife called them, his wife was carrying a bag, and it was heavy. He said, שם, תעזור לי. את יכולה לקרוא לי בשם הפרטי. Call me my name. Okay. So we have a Gemera, the basics of a Gemera. We know our Mishnah begins that anyone who bring get in חוץ לארץ צריך שיאמר, בפניי נכתב, ובפניי נחתם. What's the reason of requiring בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם? מחלוקת רבא and Rava. According to Rava, because of lishma, we want to make sure that Beit Din wrote the get lishma. According to Rava, because לפי שאין עדים מצויים לקיימו. I want to make sure that there are עדים, since they are coming from חוץ לארץ, from out of Israel, there is no way to, it's very difficult to get witnesses to validate the signatures. Therefore, the shaliach himself needs to come and say, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. The Gemara asks, according to Rabba, how come I don't need two edim? Because if you need to make sure this get was written in Lishma, I need two edim. The Gemara answer, why I don't need two edim? למה? סתם דיינים בקיאים הם. All of the דיינים are בקיאים. They know the halacha very well. There is no concern. Frag the Gemara says, if so, what do we need? What the shaliach needs to say? בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. By Rabbi we holding, not by Rava. The first one, רבונן הוא דעצוך. Why Rashi says רבונן הוא דעצוך? Maybe he found a star, the husband found a star in the garbage, and he's going to use it, similar names, he's going to use it to divorce his wife. So in order for the husband not to ever claim that he found this star in the garbage, we need to make sure it was written באמת לשמה לשם האישה, and needs to say בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. Rava, the Gemara says, that we need a shaliach can say בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. The Gemara question, according to Rava, what's the reason we need shaliach to say בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם? This is a Gemara. למה? לפי שאין עדים מצויים לקיימו. So I need a kiyum. If so, the Gemara said, if I need a kiyum, how do you do a kiyum? Two witnesses, שתי עדים. Let's require two witnesses to validate, to be מקיים the shtar. The Gemara answer, לא. אין בעיה, למה? בדין הוא דבית, באמת, I don't need kiyum. Why? ויש לקיש says, עדים החתומים על השטר, נעשה כמי שנחקרה עדותן בבית דין. יש לקיש says that עדים that standing on the שטר, as if they're עדות.
Mike possible. You saying call it.
No, it doesn't put. יש לקיש says עדים that stand on the שטר, as if their עדות was already investigated in בית דין. So therefore, I don't need קיום. בית דין הוא בקיום שטרות נמי לא ליבאי, I don't need a קיום בכלל. למה? יש לקיש, כמי שנחקרה עדותן בבית דין. So, what do I need קיום? ורבונן הוא דעצוך קיום over here. רואים דעצוך. And the same thing as we end over there. משום עיגונה, because not to leave her hanging, a kilo that one head would be enough. The fact the Gemara, okay, now this school is going to be a chumrah, the Gemara answer, no. We're not choshesh for the Baal to be me'arer, because the shaliach is very medayek when he gives the get, since he's giving it in front of two. We question this part of the Gemara, how would Rove according to Rabbi v'Rabbanon de'atzuch, what's the meaning Rabbanon hu de'atzuch? Why do we need? If Resh Lakish said already that כמי שנחקרה עדותן בבית דין, so there is no need for kiyum. How come we need kiyum over here?
Sounds like what Rav is saying that.
So the shaila is why we don't need a kiyum over here. What's Rabbanon de'atzuch, the shaila? How do you understand those words? If you need a kiyum, if Rav Lakish says כמי שנחקרה עדותן בבית דין, that means I don't need kiyum. Why with Chachamim over here require a kiyum? So Tosfot Reed, we'll start with Tosfot Reed. Tosfot Reed learns that the need of the kiyum over here, Rabbanon u'datzuch over here, it's same as Rava before. Rava before, why did he require a kiyum? Why Rava require shaliach to say v'nartam v'nah nechtam? Why Rabbanon u'datzuch before? He might found a star in the garbage. So the same concern we have over here. We might found a star in the garbage, and therefore we need the din to be mekayem to confirm that this star was not found in the garbage. This is the structure of the Gemera. So that's how Tosfot Reed learns. That the same Rabbanon u'datzuch we have before.
But the way they're mekayem is by verifying their signatures, so they can still verify the signatures. And
oh, Shoel, Lior, an amazing question. The way to be mekayem is by verifying the signature. That's not going to help you to the problem of the shtar. Amazing question. There is another question Rabbi Ariel asked, unbelievable question. The Tosfot Reed that the problem of Rava is he might find it in the garbage. So what's the machlok between Rabbi and Rava?
They sound the same.
The same problem. Both of them concerned he might find it in the garbage and a different stuff. What's the problem of Rava for finding it in the garbage? Lo nichtav lishma, nachon? What's the problem of Rava? Lo nichtav lishma. So what are they arguing? We have all the page and a half back and forth. Lefize, what's the machloket? This is an unbelievable question. Also, the whole chashash, let's think about it. Maybe found it in the garbage. It's very far chashash. Are we agreed? Found it in the garbage. And we talk concern. This concern is very far concern. Tosfot asked, meaning if there is Shtei Yosef ben Shimon, there is similar names in the community, that for sure it's a problem. If there is no, it's not a problem. So according to Rashi, it seems even
Leo Zmora is a very uncommon name.
Uncommon name, but a very special guy. It was common, yeah. So the shaila is how come? Because we're talking about Sheloch Zak Shtei Yosef. Sheloch Zak Shtei Yosef ben Shimon, right? There are no similar names in the community. Because if there are similar names, it's not a good get, the Gemara says. That was the question of Tosfot. So if there are no names, the chashash is too far. Okay, but you are concerned, I respect that. So the Gemara says, one ed would be enough, nachon? If ed covering such a far chashash, nachon? This is a far away chashash. What the Gemara says, no, let's require two for the Baal to be me'arer. The chashash is way too far to be concerned b'chlal. So it's okay that you require an ed to resolve chashash, maybe was found it, and I tell you, look, I saw it in Beis Din. But to say that I'm going to require two people to resolve that chashash, that's too far away to be concerned. And the halacha is, if you didn't give it, if the ed didn't say b'fanai nechtam b'fanai nechtam, ma adin? The ed didn't say it's not a good get. Ma kara, b'glal zeh? What's going on over here? According to Tosfot Reed, how do we read the Gemara? So we're thinking the following. The Gemara asked at the beginning, we need kiyum. Let's require two for kiyum shtarot. So the Gemara understood that the need of the edim is because of a kiyum. If the kiyum come through edim, and now one shaliach replacing the edim, but I need kiyum. Kiyum is supposed to have two people. The Gemara answer, be'emet, according to Tosfot Reed, shtarot doesn't require kiyum. Lama? Resh Lakish says, נעשה כמי שנחקרה עדותן בבית דין. So there is no din kiyum on a shtar. If there is no din kiyum on a shtar, what do we need over here בכלל the shaliach to say, בפני נחתם? Comes the Tosfot Reed and he brings a problem. We have no problem if this shtar might was found in the garbage. That's not a problem. You know what's a problem? The Baal, the husband, can claim that it was found in the garbage. Why it's crucial? If you would have a regular kiyum to the shtar, the Baal is nobody to say that it was found in the garbage.
That has to be
Because,
reality.
because a general kiyum shows that it's a legit shtar. Since I don't have kiyum to this shtar, why? Resh Loki says, I don't have kiyumim. We assume chazaka, it's an assumption, presumption that it was done correctly, they signed true stuff. A Baal can claim. So the big exchange in understanding between the Rabba and Rava. According to Rabba, is concern of Chazal, of Lishma. According to Rava, the second one, it's a concern of Chachamim, not a Lishma concern. It's a concern if a Baal can question the get, that means that it's not a good get. If it's not a good get, who do we knock down? Resh Lakish. On a regular case of a shtar alva'a, shtar of money, the borrower cannot say that this shtar, it's not a good shtar. By get, he can say that it's not a good shtar. Why? Can the borrower say, by money, by the way, this one, it's not there is another guy in the city, similar names? Can the borrower say that? With money. Can he say?
Can a lender say that?
Can a borrower?
I'm asking on the lender. Can
Then
the
there is
lender
no
say
problem. He's the one who collects.
Okay, but let's say he's a tzaddik and he doesn't want to collect. Can he say no?
You can
this is
say,
not
but
me.
if he doesn't want to collect, he shouldn't collect, obviously. But I'm asking, here we're talking about the borrower. If the borrower doesn't want to collect the money, if the borrower says, by the way, there is another random name similar to my name, can he claim such a thing? No. Lama lo? Because we're talking about there are not same people in the city. Why here we can claim it? This is an important fact. What is the job of the get? Is the get ishtar re'aya, or it's a shtar to prove what happened, or shtar that's making things happen?
Making things happen.
Right.
The difference between shtar and a get, a shtar of a loan, it doesn't make things happen. It's a proof that a loan happened. Because to lend money, you don't need a shtar. What do you do to lend money? Give money.
Right.
The shtar, it's a re'aya for what happened. A borrower cannot say this is not a proof because there are similar names. There are no basis. There are no similar names in the community. But our get, it's not a get.
To prove a divorce, it's to make a divorce.
To make a divorce. Comes the husband says, this get never made a divorce. He has a good claim over here. Since he claimed that this get never made a divorce, how do you disprove him that this get made a divorce? You bring it in. Edim bringing this get into the converting it to a proof that he made a divorce. The Edim are not making
Well, then
the
he did
shtar.
not make a divorce.
Right. Meaning the Edim are not making the shtar. The job of the Edim when you do kiyum, it's not to make that he made a divorce. You're just testifying
That's what it's
a
key.
re'aya that something happened.
Uh-huh.
But this is an important part. I want to repeat that. So again, shtar mamon is just a re'aya. Shtar get, it's not re'aya, it's shtar shel peula. How do you say it in English? It's a shtar of action. A Baal can question the action. How would you knock down the question of the Baal? I'm bringing a raya that it's happened, so you nobody to question it. So therefore, answer Lior's question. Lior asked, how would Edim help if a problem might was found? Because the problem might was found is the ta'ana of the Baal that the action didn't happen in the get. Edim just prove external proof that a raya that something happened. So then the ta'ana of the Baal cannot be ta'ana anymore. Rabbi say? I don't see light on the faces.
Yeah, no,
Right?
The shtar that they found in garbage was with the witness's signature already, right?
יפה מאוד.
Was already
יפה.
there.
So Leo asked, if it's on, well, what's the signature? So, what's the ta'ana of the Baal? If the ta'ana of the Baal that it's not a re'aya, that's one ta'ana, but never, the Baal never told it's not a re'aya. What he was told? A proof. Because this shtar is not shtar of a re'aya. This is the shtar of action of פעולה, נכון? He just questioned the action of it. But when can he question the action of the star? When there is no קיום. But when there is קיום, he has no power בכלל to question the action of the star. And therefore,
I think there's a big difference here with the Baal. When it's in the garbage, right? The Baal never has control over that get. How can he make a claim without us knowing that that's the reality?
because so with that we're saying there is, if a claim it
I
was
don't understand this question.
no, so I'll give the answer maybe. If the claim on what happened, he has no right to. Who said? How can you say it didn't happen when there is no proof for you it didn't happen, right? No raya. If there is a raya over here, the team testified there is a loan. To say there is another Yosef ben Shimon in the city when we know there is no Yosef ben Shimon, you cannot knock down the raya of the edim with such a claim. But he's not claiming that the raya is not a raya. What is he claiming?
Who?
The husband, she was never happened. But if I bring you a raya, if I'm converting this star into a raya of what happened, he cannot complain that it never happened. So באמת I don't need קיום for a get. למה I don't need קיום? Because a get it's a star of פעולה, it's an action. I don't need קיום for an action, it happened. The Torah says ונתן לה ספר כריתות, it happened. But the husband can question if it happened. When you make a קיום, you convert the get into a ראיה. If it's becomes a ראיה, a husband cannot question a ראיה anymore.
Does it happen?
You cannot question a raya. If the edim becomes a raya to what happened, the husband cannot question it. It never happened.
But by him saying this, he's stopping the queue. Who gave him that power to do that?
No, there is no kiyum by get.
By him saying there was no action made with this, that means there was no queue to the get.
Yeah, there is no kiyum. That's what we may have
Who
said.
gave him that action?
Get doesn't require kiyum.
Nobody gave him that power.
No, he has the power to say it never happened. He didn't
How?
question the
He
kiyum
has the
yet.
power. He has the power to
Sir,
shut
it was
down the
fine.
queue.
Because you want to
The
tell me
get.
that this action, this get created an action. He said he didn't create an action. He has no koach by mammon to knock down a raya, but to say something never happened, he had a koach.
So,
Therefore,
what's the Resh Lakish as well? If you're saying the get
Resh
never
Lakish
has-
just takes away, he said, any kiyum in get I don't need. In any gitin I don't need kiyum, in any shtarot. Why? כמי שנחקרה
Correct.
עדותן בבית דין. So
according to
kiyum I
what
don't
I'm
need. So our kiyum,
We have Q.
no, we have no kiyum. Resh Lakish said I don't need kiyum. We thought that there is a din that you need kiyum. We answered no. All kiyum is not something that's necessary for shtarot.
And when you
Why?
say kiyum, you're referring to we don't have to verify witnesses
Because
Yeah.
it's already.
כמי שנחקרה, it's treating as if it happened.
because we have a couple of different claims we can make.
Right,
So
so
in the case of gitin, he can claim I found it in the garbage. He can't claim those witnesses are not kosher or I never. Meaning there are certain claims that he can
that he
make.
cannot claim.
So-
he only can claim on the
Right,
maaseh
but so
itself.
if he tries to make a claim against witnesses, we have Rish Lakish that say kilu nichkeru bebedin.
So-
So that's cancelled out.
Why-
But if
why
he
not?
comes-
Why not?
Why? Because we don't
Because
have
to
a
say
problem.
maybe there was a guy is not valid to knock down
Right.
witnesses.
Or to say that no, it's not me. It's another.
Okay.
It's another Moshe ben Shimon. You're the only Moshe ben Shimon
Okay.
in Dania. But if he says, I just found this in the garbage and I gave it to him, then we
He questioned the maaseh.
We question why, because now he's already
He's not
challenging
arguing
the
with
validity
anybody.
of the actual
Meaning-
divorce.
No, but the point is not arguing anybody. He doesn't tell anybody
Right,
you're wrong.
right.
You just said this thing didn't happen.
Right.
If you question an edut of a loan, you're telling the edim you're wrong. That's not. You can't say the edim you're wrong.
But he's saying the
it's koach-
transaction of divorce
Exactly.
never
The
took place.
transaction never took place. Therefore, chachamim require kiyum. What's the kiyum? Help me.
To make sure that
The
happens.
kiyum, maybe that it happened. So we have a raya that it
So now
happened.
let's
we
say
have
one more
the
time.
chachamim.
How does
Chachamim
how
require.
to verifying the witnesses?
So chachamim require kiyum. Why chachamim require kiyum? Kiyum means I have a raya that it's up, and now you cannot say anything.
So kiyum doesn't
It's a
mean
raya.
anymore just verifying witnesses, because kiyum, the
No,
way
no.
we understood
Kiyum
according to
it's a
Rashi
raya.
is
No. Kiyum, you're converting this star not from an action. You're making
Who's
it
that?
into star of raya. It's making it like star mamon that has kiyum. Now you have a raya that it's up, and now he has no right to say what's found in the garbage. Therefore, the Gemera says, that's pshat v'rabbanon u'datzrechu, Chachomim require it. Frag the Gemara,
דווקא כל שטרות.
לא, בגיטין.
למה בגיטין?
Only בגיטין he can question the מעשה. By any שטרות he cannot question.
means בכל שטרות, רבנן למד צריך טור, אבל האחה...
לא, לפי התוספות read, it's a specific, ואחה, התוספות read אומר במפורש, it's a דין חשש לשמה, was found in the garbage, it's a specific din over here, not in other שטרות. That's שתי תוספות read, that's why we must say that it's problem only over here. Therefore, we need to get to the chiluk between shtarot over here. Why is not a problem in shtarot? כי shtarot, it's ראיה. You cannot question a ראיה. רב שלמה said, נעשה כמי שלך קראת אותם בבית-דין. Here, you're not questioning the ראיה, you question if the מעשה happened. Yes, כוח on it. The קיום, converting the shtar into a ראיה. ראיה, you cannot question anymore.
מזכיר לשם לאנשים שלך לחזקת הבתים.
טוב, פרק the Gemara now. So the Gemara says, באמת, ורבנן הודעה צרוך קיום. יפה? Now, after I have קיום, if so, I need the full קיום. ומשום עיגונה, הכילו ברבנון. So the חידוש over here now, that what's it between Rabbi and Rav, and now we need the full קיום, מדין קיום. לא מדין שמא ימצא בהשפעה. According to Rabbi, the need of a קיום is for what?
נשמע.
השליח, Rabbi, השליח, זה because of נשמע part of it. Here it's not because of the נשמע, מדין of the קיום of it. We convert the concern for her, for their name. We convert the concern of lishma into a kiyum. Now you cannot talk anymore. So therefore, the Gemara says, Rabbonon u'da'atzuch. Mishum iguna, akilu barabbonon. That one, it's enough. Right, the Gemara...
רבם דלג מילה האחה? זה לא נמצא מילה...
הוא לא כותב אחת. תוספות לא כותב אחת. רוב הראשונים לא כותבים אחת. most of the ראשונים, אני רק אגמור ואז נדבר.
יש רק שאלה.
כן?
אז יוצא שאנחנו לא חוששים that he found them in the garbage, פשוט that since by a get he's going to be believed, so that's why preemptively we do kiyum.
Perfect.
So they won't be believed.
Right.
And by regular shtalat, he won't be believed.
Yeah, because it's only ראיה. כמי שנחקרה, you have a ראיה already.
So he can't come and say I found them in the garbage.
בדיוק.
So that's why I don't have to go say
יפה מאוד.
kiyum doesn't exist.
יפה. So אתה הגמורה says רבנו דעצוך over here. משום הגנה כאילו רבנו, that one is enough. For the Gemara, שכוח you מקל, but now the בעל can be מערער again. The only reason a kiyum avoiding him from being מערער because you convert it into a ראיה, נכון?
The only reason why
Kiyum will take away his option to be מערער because you convert this star into star of ראיה. But if you're telling me one guy is talking, then it's not a star of ראיה anymore. You never had kiyum. Then the בעל can be מערער. How do we resolve it? So the way the Tosfot Reed learns, the answer of the Gemara, it's beautiful. Nobody learns like that. Says Tosfot Reed, ילקח, אחרי האחרון, אמנו רבנן כבית רי. חכמים convert the ed to make it into two. רש"י says, בעיקר דייק דייק, הוא לא אומר כבית רי לפי רש"י. רק לפי תוספות ריד, he said, חכמים, נתן, חכמים made him into a two, חכמים אמנו like כבית רי. That means, what's חכמים כאילו? It's unbelievable. אז רבונון הוא דעה צרוך, I need two. ומשום עיגונה כאילו, to treat one as two. מה נפקא מינה?
רגע, והוא לא כותב בהכה?
מה אתה אומר? לא, take out the word בהכה. אין בהכה. So, חכמים were made to make one into two. With that being said,
It's only specifically in Aguna.
יפה מאוד, that one becomes two. Says, so לפי זה, by the way, לפי הרמב"ם, if you're going to bring a ראיה מערער, you might listen to him. Because after all, there is one end. הרמב"ם אומר, we'll see it later, that if the husband bring ראיה שזה מזויף, it's one against ראיה, two, doesn't work. But לפי התוספות ריד, it's two against two. He changed all chaps. According to Tosfot Reed, this end, מה הוא עושה?
Wait, where's the other?
According to Tosfot Reed, the שליח becomes two. הימנו רבונון כבית רי. So לפי התוספות it becomes two. So you have the חידוש of חכמים, הימנו רבונון, you have a full קיום. But that's what חכמים changed by get. That the שליח is equivalent to 2. When you have a full קיום, even says the תוספות read,
How do you fit it into the words of the Gemara?
ואי עתי בא ומערער, לא משגיחין על מי. I don't care about them.
But how do you fit it into the
למה?
words of the Gemara? Midakdaik. Mikra midakdaik. What does that mean?
No, so since I know the מקור מדקדאי, we
What does
rely...
midakdaik mean in this case? Over there by the Shema, I understand. You make sure to see the Shema.
No,
Over here, you
the
make sure
same
to
thing.
say.
Since מדקדאי, that the husband is one and given to him,
Mhm.
that's creating
Doesn't
a
mean the husband
koach.
didn't find it in the garbage.
What?
Doesn't mean the husband didn't find it in the garbage.
No, so then the husband has no koach to say. That's a ראיה against the husband.
אז זה
הוא
היה
אומר פה
גסה.
ככה, תראה, הלשון שלו,
ראיתי על השון שלו.
מאחר שהוא מתחיל מדי גם לדעת שברצונו מגרשה בכשרות נכתב ונחתם. So I know for sure it was done, that's a ראיה שזה נכתב בכשרות נכתב ונחתם. So that's a full קיום that the בעל cannot be מערער anymore.
So Mikra midakdaik does nothing to do with how many people he saw it in front of. It's the fact that he saw it being signed. Since he saw it being signed, the husband wants to say that it was found in the garbage. Yeah,
Exactly, that's a full
It has
ראיה.
nothing to do with בפני כמה נותנו. It has to do with
לא,
the fact
לא,
that he saw it being
לא,
made.
בפני כמה נותו לה מחייב אותו לדייק that the husband is giving it, so you have a full ראיה, כמו שתי עדים, that the husband gave it and it wasn't found in the garbage.
Wait, but didn't we say that, like, Chachamim are the ones who gave the power for this one guy to become 2? One. But if you have 2, now it's 2 is considered doraisa. This 1 is considered 2 derabanan.
No.
So you should override it.
לפי התוספות ריל אומר, לא מאמינים לו.
But how do we
אתה שואל טוב,
we
אז זה מה
said
שהוא אומר,
this-
לא, יש לך שאלה טובה.
We
But-
said in Yavamis too.
יש לך שאלה טובה, but that's a פשט, הכל תוספות ריל. בסדר, that's deciding to work out. But you see very clear that האימון רבונון כבית רי becomes 2.
ככה לרמב"ם.
So again, לא, הרמב"ם זה משהו אחר בכלל. זה כל היופי פה לראות את ההבדלים. So, to summarize תוספות ריל, the Gemara asks, let's require 2. קיום שטרות, ומי קיום is דאורייתא. the Gemara asks, no, קיום בכלל לא מדאורייתא. ריש לקיש אמר, עדים החתומים על השטר כמי שנחקרה עדותן בבית דין. So basically I don't need קיום. The only thing I need, רבנו דעצוך over here, a בעל כן טוען, it was found, שליח found it in the garbage. On that חכמים require 2 עדים, and 1 עד would be good enough.
Like
Why the בעל can be טוען? Because the difference between every שטרות according to תוספות ריל, you don't need קיום. Here we need קיום, עוני רבנו דעצוך, למה? Because it's a שטר of מעשה, זה לא שטר ראיה. על שטר ראיה אי אפשר לעשות טענה. בעל cannot be מערער on שטר ראיה. Therefore, חכמים require קיום to turn it into שטר ראיה, and the Gemara says, if so, I need 2. The Gemara says, no, the אחד, we treat it as 2 and it cannot be מערער. This is תוספות ריל. Let's go in the Rambam. Rambam, clear, very clear. And you want to do it inside or? Is that tough? So let me talk it outside. Rambam number 1 in הלכות עדות, very clear. In פרק ג' הלכה ו', he said that עדים החתומים על השטר, the way he learns ריש לקיש הרמב"ם, the Rambam learns ריש לקיש in a very interesting way. He learned that עדים החתומים על השטר כמי שנחקרה עדותן בבית דין means what? That the information that they give
That's what
it's
it says.
absolute, which means Edim cannot come and say, by the way, when we testified it, we were young, we were anusim, we were against our will. It doesn't work because any witnesses who sign on a shtar, Resh Lakish says, כמי שנחקרה אותם בעדים. So that's the only impact of Resh Lakish. However, Kiyum I need for sure. Says the Rambam, I do need Kiyum. Why, according to the Rambam, I need Kiyum? In פרק ו', הלכה א', says the Rambam, כבר ביארנו שקיום שטרות מדבריהם, כדי שלא תנעול דלת בפני לווים. So Rambam says very clear that קיום שטרות is מדרבנן, שלא, you shouldn't lock the doors in front of borrowers. So you see very clear from the Rambam that there is Resh Lakish doesn't resolve Kiyum. I still need a Kiyum to confirm what? שהעדים האלה שלא תנעול דלת בפני לווים. So the Rambam very clear learns that the din of Kiyum and the din of Resh Lakish are two different dinim. The din of Kiyum is special thing that I do need to make sure the signatures are correct. Doesn't help me, Resh Lakish, to tell me that this get is a valid get. Rabbi said that's an important factor in the Rambam. That this get is a valid get, I don't have a raya. Resh Lakish didn't say that it's a good get. מה Resh Lakish אמר? That the Edim cannot change their mind. But for the Kiyum, Resh Lakish doesn't make any difference. And that's Tosfot question, בדף כ"ח עמוד ב' עם כתובות, דיבור המתחיל קיום. Tosfot ask, it's clear in our Gemara in Masechet Gitin, that the Gemara says, I do not need Kiyum, למה לא? Why don't it use? Because of Resh Lakish. How come the Rambam says the Kiyum required, despite Resh Lakish? The Gemara says because in our Sugya, עדים החתומים על השטר נעשה כמי שנחתרה עדותם בבית דין, and I don't need קיום. Where the Rambam ignore, כולם מוסתים ממך. איפה הרמב"ם, where do we see the Rambam בכלל ignoring הגמורה that this is a replacement of קיום? Question number one, Rambam clear?
It makes sense.
לא, אל תגיד תשובות עכשיו. שאלות קודם כל להבין מה קורה. Too early, לאט. Is question clear?
Yes.
כן. Second problem in the Rambam in הלכה ו' he says, כבר ביארנו that I need קיום כדי שלא תינול דלת בפני לווים. If you look on the Rambam where is כבר ביארנו, פרק ג' הלכה ד'. Over there he didn't say that. This is a kasha of everybody else around. פרק ג' הלכה ד' says the Rambam, דין תורה שאין מקבלים עדות לא בדיני ממונות ולא בדיני נפשות, אלא מפי עדים. שנאמר, בליאור על פי שיניים עדים, מפיהם ולא מפי כתב ידן. אבל מדברי סופרים שחותכים דיני ממונות בעדות שבשטר, אף על פי שאין העדים קיימים, כדי שלא תינול דלת בפני לווים. In פרק ג' הלכה ד', the only thing the Rambam says in פרק ג' הלכה ד' is what?
זה לא פרק ג' הלכה ד', למה?
פרק ג' הלכה ד'.
למה? זה לא, זה בקסובס.
לא, כבר ביארנו, when the Rambam says... לא, הוא אומר למעלה, הוא אומר שזה פה. כל הנושא כלים אומרים זה פה.
ליד פרגים הלכה ד'.
גם לא פה.
doesn't say that.
לא, גם הלחם משנה מביא שזה גם שם. אוקיי, so כבר ביארנו, the Rambam learns, איפה ביארנו? עם פרק ג' הלכה ד'. What means in פרק ג' הלכה ד'? שאין the reason...
No, the Lechem Mishnah is something else. The Lechem Mishnah is asking a question. He's saying the Lashon only stems for that. For what he says in Lechem Dalet.
זה פשוט, זה לא, זה כל מיני
The Lechem
מקורות
Mishnah says
ציונים.
muflash.
It says it here. It says here.
לא, אני חושב קשה בעיניי, זה לא כאמר אלה שדורון, אני לא יודע, על פי שטר, רק קצת שאני שואל את זה. עליכם מי ששואל את זה מפורש, הרב.
מה?
הוא שואל את זה מפורש, תראה.
לא, אני ראיתי משהו.
תקרא.
He's saying that the Lashon
תקרא
of
את
the...
הלשון.
מה?
זה לשון קשה בעיניי, זה בפרק ג' לא כאמר אלא
שתיקנו
שתיקנו חכמים.
על פי שטר כדי שיותר
נדלת בפני לווים.
ואז...
יפה. meaning this is the כבר ביארנו, צדיק.
No, because כבר ביארנו is going on קיום שטרות מדבריהם. not that כבר ביארנו...
זה לא חידוש, הם מביאים את זה פה במקורות ציוניים, ראיתי עוד שם מדבר על זה.
במקורות ציוניים מביאים...
פרק ג' הלכה דלת.
פרק ב' כתובות.
לא, תסתכל מצד ימין, no, all the way to the right. third line. כבר ביארנו, לאל, פרק ב', הלכה ג'. that's איפה שכבר ביארנו, הרמב"ם כנצה כבר ביארנו לכתובות, אין כזה דבר.
לא ודאי.
לא אין כזה דבר, כבר ביארנו זה אנחנו ביארנו. impossible.
אנחנו זה לא בכתובות.
כבר ביארנו, איפה הוא ביאר? לא, אנחנו ביארנו, הרמב"ם אומר.
מי זה אנחנו? הוא?
הוא ביאר, איפה הוא ביאר?
בהלכות כתובות.
הוא לא ביאר בהלכות כתובות.
איפה
הוא כתב בהלכות כתובות? זה גמרא, הוא לא כתב בהלכות כתובות. לא, בלי זה, הרב.
No, because I'm saying that the lashon of שלא תינודלת, I'm masculine is brought from there.
הרב, הוא אומר כבר ביארנו, הוא לא אומר ביארנו בגמרא, אין כזה דבר.
לא, בהלכות כתובות ברמב"ם.
מה הוא כתב בהלכות כתובות?
The Gemara from דף כ"ח, the Rambam paskins like that over there. שרבנן צריכו קיום.
ראית את זה בהלכות כתובות?
אני לא ראיתי את זה.
אתה מקי גם סתיו, שכויה. כבר ביארנו לדבר פה, נו, מה אתה ממציא דברים? כבר ביארנו.
ודאי לא בהלכות ד' בפרק ג'.
כבר ביארנו עוד לא ביררת.
כולם אומרים, עזוב. כבר ביארנו, and also, he's not going to say כבר ביארנו כתובות, הוא מדבר עכשיו פה על עדות. כבר ביארנו הלכות כתובות, עזוב, look it up later. So כבר ביארנו, it says very clear over here. So Rambam says, the לשון of the Rambam, פרק ו' he says, ביארנו שקיום שטרוטיס שלא תנעול דלת בפני הלווים. In פרק ג' הלכה ד', when Rambam explained where he was מבאר, this is unbelievable question. He just said that there is a problem. The Torah says, mipihem, and edut must be given by mouth. We have a rule, the Gemera in Makot says, mipihem velo mipi ktavam, not through a written, meaning an ed, an ilem, Gemara omeret, cannot testify. Lama? Somebody is mute, cannot testify. Why cannot testify? Because when you write, to write an edut, this is what happened, it's not valid in basic, they must hear it. So therefore, in Perek Gimel Halacha Dalet, the Rambam asks, the Rambam says, באמת, how can you use a shtar to know that a guy borrowed money and Edim sign it when it's מפיהם ולא מפי כתבם? It was from the mouth, they didn't write it. Big shaila. Says the Rambam, it's a special takana of Chachamim שלא תנעול דלת בפני לווים. You shouldn't close doors in front of borrowers. מה takana? What's the takana for? The Rambam explained, if you have a shtar, and only if the edim that signed on the shtar needs to come and testify, sometimes somebody borrowed money, the edim moved to Israel, or they're no longer with us, and the lender, he cannot collect. Lama? He's going to tell the lender, bring the edim לא פה, מה אני אעשה? It's going to cause for people not to lend money to each other. If the shtar, you cannot collect with the shtar, that's going to cause people not to lend money because you cannot enforce it. And you go find the edim, אחי, עברתי דירה, they moved. There is a special takana of Chachamim. Because if you're not going to allow to give edut from a shtar like that, what's going to be to people? People are not going to lend money. They don't want to lose their money. Who's going to lose from it? Borrowers, lovim. So if the takana שלא תנעול דלת בפני לווים, we are allowed to use a shtar as an edut for as a testimony for a loan, and therefore you can collect money with this loan. So what's the takana שלא תנעול דלת בפני לווים in פרק ג' הלכה ד'? רב ליאור? מתן, what's the takana שלא תנעול דלת בפני לווים? Takana?
The takana is that you can establish a dut with a...
You can establish a dut with from paper,
with a contract.
not exactly. Now, that's the kasha.
What about the chashash of ziyuf? What about the chashash of ziyuf?
חשש of ziyuf, we'll talk about it. No, בסדר, אבל סתם, the issue over there, it's only עדות. In פרק ו' says, כבר ביארנו שקיום שטרות מדבריהם, we explained earlier that קיום שטרות מדבריהם, שלא תנעול דלת בפני לווים. קיום שטרות, to be מקיים a שטר, to make sure the signature are valid, is not what we explained over there, שלא תנעול דלת. Not to like the door in borrowers, the only thing we did is, we allowed a written testimony instead of oral testimony. But to say that Kiyum relate to what we said before, it doesn't make sense. The Ram doesn't make sense. And the Lechem Mishneh bothered with it. He said, the Rambam explained earlier, Lo tino delet bifnei lovim means what? To allow teshtar, a contract. And you're saying over here that is Shelo tino delet bifnei lovim, you're supposed to have Kiyum? So yes, all pshat the way to answer it, but obviously it's very big question of the Rambam. Rambam, how can you tell me that the kiyum is what we explained, Shelo tino delet bifnei lovim, where Shelo tino delet bifnei lovim, by the way, kiyum, who needs the kiyum?
Who needs the kiyum?
Why? What's the reason we put kiyum? Who are we protecting? Who are we protecting with kiyum?
The loveh.
We are protecting the
Loveh, not the malveh.
The loveh. The loveh.
So now people don't come and say, hey, you owe me money.
Right, so you're not going to lock doors because of that into the loveh. So the Mishneh said, if you're not going to do it, people are not going to borrow money because people will give against them shtarot. Very dochak, but simple pshat of the Rambam, this is takana for the borrowers. And still, the Rambam says takana borrowers bechlal has nothing to do with it to allow the shtar. This is in Ilchot Edut. In Ilchot Girushin, So the other kasha of the Rambam we said is the big kasha on the Gemera and Gitin. The Rambam here completely ignored the Gemera and Gitin, and he said the Resh Lakish is only regarding the edim cannot change their mind. What about our Gemera? Our Gemera says very clear that you need edim, that you don't need bechlal because of Resh Lakish. In Gerushin, let's see the Gemara, the Rambam in Gerushin. It's very interesting the way he behaves. Rambam in Gerushin. He says, no, well, you see the Rambam in Gerushin, like, Shaliach שהביא גט ממקום למקום. Shaliach who brought a get from one place to another, בארץ ישראל, אף על פי שלא ראה כתיבת הגט, even if he didn't see who gave the get, and he doesn't know who's who, ואמר לו, תן גט לאשתי, and he can give the get without saying anything. So, הלכה א', he said, that in Eretz Israel, you don't need to say anything. It says in הלכה ב', בא הבעל וערער, if the בעל קמן מערער. What the ערעור should be? מזויף הוא, נכון? He used interesting words. ואמר, לא גירשתי מעולם, וגט שהובא למזויף הוא, יתקיים בחותמיו. ערעור of the בעל, the Rambam is מדגיש, I never divorce her, and the get is מזויף. Why do we need the Rambam to say, לא גירשתי, why the ערעור? For fake. Why do we need the ערעור to be, לא גירשתי מעולם וגט שהובא למזויף? The ערעור should be simple. הגט הזה מזויף. Why is the Rambam adding words to the ערעור? If the husband comes and explains, by the way, guys, this get is מזויף. מספיק, לא?
צריך לגלות את הרצון שלו כביכול.
הוא צריך לספר, by the way.
I don't think it's a big problem that he said, I never did this, and by
No,
the way,
that's a
it's
requirement. According to the Rambam, if he just says מזויף, לא מספיק.
fake. Yeah.
The word, ולמה זה לא מספיק? If the guy, the husband comes and he claims it's מזויף, it's fake. למה, why it's not enough?
כי אולי באמת עדיין היה לו כוונה לגרש אותה, אבל פשוט זה
מזויף.
מזויף.
אז זה מזויף, it's not a get. You don't have a get. Why do we need to say לא גירשתי מעולם?
יש לקיש.
אה?
יש לקיש.
בוא נראה, זה לא ברור שזה לקיש. Next one, in case that the get got lost, נכון? says הרמב"ם עבד הגט, הרי זו ספק מגורשת. So the Rambam says, if the guy מערער ואומר שהגט הוא מזויף, אם נתקיים הגט, it's a good get. ואם לא נתקיים הגט, is ממזר. If the get lost, what's the din? ספק. Why it's a ספק? The Rambam says, if the בעל מערער, you need a קיום. If you have no קיום, you don't have a קיום means what? You have a him who signed on the debt, and you cannot find anybody to validate their signature. That the Rambam says the get, הילד ממזר. Now, if the get lost, why it's a ספק?
Because you don't have because
You don't have קיום. You said,
it's not that you don't have kiyum, you don't have the opportunity for kiyum.
yeah, so you don't have קיום. If you don't have the opportunity to קיום, you never had קיום. If you never had קיום, why it's מספק?
If you have the paper, you have קיום.
If you would have, but you don't have the paper. The Rambam says, if you have the paper without קיום, it's also ספק, by the way. If you have a paper and you cannot find the dim, it's not a solid proof that it's not a good get. You just have no edim to testify, נכון?
זה ספק דרייסה לחלו?
No, so if you have, הוא מחמיר, נכון? If you have a ספק, when you don't have a dim,
Rega, I'm sorry, can we just, from the beginning, the situation is that a woman is
got
married.
divorced in
A woman is
Israel.
married. She got divorced in she's married.
Yeah,
She does not have her divorce papers from
exactly.
From
And
the
husband
previous marriage.
came, the husband
and he
came.
comes and says, "You're married to me,"
Exactly.
and she says, "I don't have."
I have no paperwork. That's a fake. If she has the paperwork,
Wow. She
If-
doesn't even have one person that says, "Oh, here's the shaliach, here's Lior the shaliach."
No.
Nothing.
לא, אנחנו מסכימים, I'm sorry. We know that she received the get.
Oh, how do we know that?
Because this is the...
מישהו מעיד. But we don't have...
יפה, אז
Yes,
יש
but we
לך,
don't have
אז
it.
רגע, שנייה. אז כמו שאנחנו אמרנו, in the case of ספק, what was it called, בייסורים, ספק חלק, ספק שומן, whatever. So over here, you don't have a אשת איש, you don't have a חזקה ואשת, עכשיו יש לך חזקה של גירוש.
אני מסכים איתך, I agree with you. If so, on a case that you do have the get, and you don't have a dim to validate the signature, it's also safek. Why if there is no get is more of a safek if the get is here but you don't find the edim to validate the signatures?
Because I don't know, but now you could maybe say it's a chazaka that she's
But
it's a fake.
I think it's much better situation if you have the get, you just don't find the edim than not having a get at all. And not having a get at all is much better for her than having the get. This is my proof. You cannot find the edim. עכשיו יש מלחמה בארץ, they cannot
Now
come.
apparently it's better to not have a get than to have it and not be makem and edim according to this.
And it doesn't make sense. What's the
So tell every woman, lose your
I have a
get.
question. What was the process back then? There was no gets back then.
was get, okay.
There was get all the way back then, years ago.
Nothing
years ago.
changed since the Torah was given. The get.
That's
is
what
given,
Rabbeinu.
and the
Rabbeinu
Rabbi
told
her.
all the women
And the
to-
way we write
all
the
the men
get
to give-
today, it's the exact same way as we did 3,000 years ago.
Wow.
ממש, אחד על אחד.
12 lines?
שורות, 12 line, on a
And
club,
but back then, like all the way back then, there was no rabbis, right? In the Torah, there was no
Rabbis.
Torah.
No, this is after the Torah.
Oh, but
after the Torah.
during the Torah, there was no gets.
Before the Torah was given, a guy told honey, goodbye.
And that's it.
Go home. By the way, till today, according to the Torah, what's considered the wife of a goy?
The wife
What's
of the boy?
considered the wife of a goy?
Yeah, by a goy, what's considered as a wife?
Anyway,
Oh,
and their wife.
If you marry her, they need to. If you tell her, honey, I don't want you as a wife anymore, go home. She's not his wife. There is an official document according to the Torah.
So when was the get? When they
By the
established?
Torah, when Hashem gave the
I'm gonna
Torah.
tell it to Carlos.
This time is when Hashem gave the Torah.
Carlos.
Next. So the question is clear.
So it's better to not have a get than have a get?
What?
It's better to not have a get than have a get with no...
That's what doesn't make sense.
Right.
If you ever get the signatures, it's a mamzer.
Because
If you don't get a
if you
get,
have
it's
the
good.
get, so you know she doesn't have it, and you know she's still married. But if you don't have the get, you don't know if she's married or not.
No, make sure you lose the get. For those who are married, אישה שעשתה בדיקה ביום הראשון, וביום השביעי שכחה לעשות בדיקה.
ביום שלישי שכחה?
ביום האחרון, השביעי שכחה לעשות בדיקה, כן?
אני סומך על the first one?
עכשיו, מספר לזמן זה לא פשוט, זה בעיה בהלכה, אבל אין ברירה, אתה תתיר. אם היא עשתה בדיקה ביום הרביעי, מה תגיד לה? תעשי בדיקה מחר. So, אישה שעשתה בדיקה מפסידה עוד יום. אם היא לא עשתה בדיקה, אתה סומך על הראשון אם צריך. אוקיי, הלוך ה', this is also unbelievable Rambam. שליח שהביא גט ממקום למקום בחוץ לארץ, שליח הוא בורות גט from a place to place in חוץ לארץ, או מארץ ישראל לחוץ לארץ, from here to there, because we all like Rava, there are no עדים, או מחוץ לארץ to ארץ ישראל. אם היה שליח עומד שם, if the שליח was standing there when the get was written, and sign, הרי זה אומר, when he gives a get to her, בפני שניים, in front of two people, בפניי נכתב, בפניי נכתב, ואחר כך ייתן לה בפניהם, he give it in front of her, ותתגרש בו. ואף על פי שאין עדיו, ידועים אצלנו, even though we don't know the witnesses, you can still give it to her as a get. ואפילו היו עדיו כשמות הגויים, אין חוששים להם. Even if the edim was similar to the shemot of the goyim, you are not choshesh, and you can rely on it as a good get. This din, the
You can give her a get without witnesses?
no witnesses. They said even the name of the witnesses sound like
Lawrence.
Carlos Rodriguez, you know, and even the name of goyim signed on the get, it's still okay. This din is the Gemara later on. Yudalef Amud Bet. The Gemara says that similar names, shemot goyim, it's okay. מה הקשר פה? What's the connection over here to this halacha? That goyim names are okay on the get has nothing to do with the din of someone who's bringing a get from Chutz La'aretz or Eretz Israel. Why is the Rambam adding this get? This
Where is it
din?
going in that city, in Israel?
Huh?
Where is it going? Because it's easy to find where you're
No, it's coming from Chutz La'aretz. It's coming from America.
Uh-huh.
And you see names of goyim, Jason, this and that, so they are concerned.
I think
So-
the Rambam is dealing with the
We're
action
getting
of
the
the
answers?
get. How the-
Too early,
no,
too
no,
early,
how
too
the-
early,
the
too
action
early.
of the get is.
Too early.
Wait for Monday?
הלאה. וואו, אוקיי, אני לפני שאלות.
I'm
Bye,
saying, you know, wait for Monday to give us the answers?
Yeah, assuming you're reviewing it.
הרב שלך.
רבי, תהיה לי טוב רמב"ם, אתם מסתכלים עליי כאילו אני...
אבל אני רמב"ם.
make copies! make copies! איך אתה יכול לבוא לשיעור בלי רמב"ם ביד?
tomorrow's no shiur?
תאמר שיעור עם פרשת שבוע.
איפה כל הרמב"ם?
אוקיי, ביי, תודה, אל תדע, בסדר, רק... No, at least we're bringing the question, we can review it. הלוך הבב, בא הבעל וערער, אין משגיחין בו. רבי ישראל. When the Rambam was מערער, if the Rambam מערער and question the get, he says, הרב, חילה, בא הבעל וערער, אין משגיחים בו. So after הלכה, hey, when the shliach brought the get from Eretz Israel, the Baal is questioning it, אין משגיחים בו, meaning, he has no טענה, נכון? What was the ערעור over here? Put him on mute, נכון? What was the ערעור over here? In הלכה זין. After we receive a get and he said, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. What was the ערעור? The Rambam doesn't say any type of ערעור. But the Rambam used very interesting word. אין משגיחים בו. מה זה אין משגיחים בו? כאילו, תגיד, אין לו טענה, מה זה אין משגיחים בו? אה?
You don't listen to me.
כן, אבל it's very strange לשון, לשון של גמורה? לא, לא אומרת את זה. לא אומרת אין משגיחים בו.
איפה הרב? איפה הרב?
מראים את הרמב"ם.
where the Rabbi just check if it's לשון הגמרא.
לא, עם דף ג'.
No, I לא שדף ג', in general, the Gemara says in
איפה כתוב? תביא ראיה שכתוב ותביא לי, אל תביא לי ג'נרלס. לא בג'נרלס. עזוב, חבל להביא את התורה. So, בעל וערער אין משגיחים בו. Interesting, לשון of the Rambam of saying אין משגיחים בו, instead לא נאמן. עכשיו, the last part of the Rambam is הלכה חטא. ומפני מה הצריכו לומר בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם בחוץ לארץ. What do we need to say בחוץ לארץ בפניי נחתם? כדי שלא תהיה האישה צריכה לקיימו, for the woman shouldn't have any need לקיים אותו, אם יבוא הבעל ויערער, if the בעל gonna come in, מערער. למה? מפני שאין העדים מצויים לקיימו. The עדים are not common to מקיים the get, ממקום למקום בחוץ על הארץ. So at the end, Rambam brings, why do we need to say בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם? For the husband not to be able to be מערער. Who is that sounds like? He cannot be מערער. מערער what? What's the ערעור of the בעל? חכמים הוא? דעצרוך. חכמים הוא דעצרוך. For what? Can we say the pshat of the Tosfot read in the Rambam? Can we say the pshat of the Tosfot read חכמים הוא דעצרוך?
Where would you say that?
Lost it?
No, I've been gone for like 3 minutes.
Okay. So the Rambam says that the reason we have it, we need בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם over here, כדי שלא יבוא הבעל ויערער. So those words, you have to fit it into which words? ורבונן הוא דעצרוך. Can he say like the Tosfot read or not?
Because Rav Hashesh by the Baal, and the Tosfot read, our whole pshat was that the Baal will maybe come and uproot the proof of what you get out
Excellent.
of
So what's the ערעור of the בעל?
That he was choosing
the get never.
Can he say like the read? So can he say like the read that it was found in the garbage? הרמב"ם לא אומר את זה. What did the Rambam says the ערעור was?
שאני לא
מה זה
גירשתי
ערעור?
אותה.
לא גירשתי אותה מעולם. יפה. So he cannot say like the Tosfot read, נכון?
רגע, והרי זה מזויף, למה?
כן, all this line. But he cannot say like Tosfot read. הבעל cannot...
שאני מצאתי את זה בפח?
הוא לא אומר. אין טענה כזו. מה הטענה הרמב"ם? What's the Rambam said that ערעור can be? Only לא גירשתי מעולם. So you cannot...
לא גירשתי מעולם
וזה מזויף.
והרי זה מזויף, כן. So you cannot say like the Tosfot read. So how would you understand רבונן הוא דעצרוך according to the Rambam? Leave it open. Last part. הלכה ט' בעל שהביא ראיה ברורה שגט זה שנאמר בו בפניי נכתב ובפניי נכתב מזויף, הרי זה בטל. If you bring a solid ראיה, הרי זה בטל. Why? שלא האמינו דבריו של אחד שאמר בפניי נכתב ובפניי נכתב, we didn't leave words of one guy, אלא לדחות ערעור הבעל, this to push away the ערעור of the בעל, שאין עמו ראיה without ראיה. אבל במקום העדים שמכחישים אותו, לא האמינוהו. So listen to the words, if the עדים contradicting him, you didn't believe him. So the לשון of the Rambam, let's be very careful, he's saying, we didn't, the כוח of the head, it's not like Tosfot read, that it's a עדות, like 2. He says, זה לא 2. The only כוח of the Ed is to knock down who? The בעל. If the בעל brings a ראיה, מה הוא אומר? לא האמינו. Meaning, הרי זה בטל. Rambam says this get immediately בטל. So Rambam learns that the כוח of the get is not בכלל like 2. What's the כוח of the get is? 1. And if you have 2 עדים who question in the get, it's 2 against 1, and the get is בטל. רמב"ם, למה הוא בטל? if the חכמים יצרכו קיום, אין אמונו רבונון, why it's בטל? בעזרת השם on Monday we'll give but רבי סקליץ review. תסתכלו עליי כאילו נפלתי במהלך.